Happy Friday, a Thursday. No, this is not Friday yet. It's just Thursday. I'm wishing the day's way. Happy Thursday. Glad you're with me today. I apologize for the poor video today, but unfortunately, I don't have the camera with me that I normally use, and so the lighting is not exactly right. But hopefully, you can make out what's going on and can see clearly enough. I think if you don't see me at all, you can see well enough. Again, a sun shining day outside in our place. Still pretty cold, a lot of snow out there, but I think we'll see it diminishing as the days go by. I think it's a good day. As they used to say, Zig Ziglar's, it's a good day getting better. And I think it's a good day getting better around here as well. So come on in with me on this Thursday and let's share a thought or two for a moment. I came across a reminder here recently, and I know we're well past Valentine's Day now, but I came across that reminder of Proverbs 31, the 10th verse, where it says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies." You can go on and read about all those characteristics that are there, and impressed with what a marvelous thing it is. And sometimes we forget, we men. So I'll just maybe talk to the men for a moment. We forget how blessed we are to have the women in our lives, how blessed we are to have these wives. Sometimes we don't treat them as well as we ought to, but how blessed we are. But let me tell you a story, and this is what I was thinking about today, is this story. Some of you who are around here from the Southern Ridge Church, you remember old Bob Lane. He was here for a while with us. Paula and I used to pick him up, bring him to services with us, and he attended with us. Also, we would note that he had known me for quite a number of years. But there's some things you might not know about Bob. If you want to remember him, you can look in the fly cover of our songbooks that we have, and you find that his name is in there, as he donated and left money for us to purchase those songbooks. But I met Bob quite a number of years earlier, when his wife happened to be a member of the congregation where I preached prior to coming here. She was one of the ladies that sat together at near the back of the auditorium that I would greet when I'd come into the auditorium. Often they would already be there talking to one another before the Sunday school classes would begin and just having a good time, look forward to that social time with one another. And I'd go in and talk to them and ask them what gossip they were spreading and things like that. And they would give me a hard time. And we had a great time together. One of the ladies was Omega. And she was married to Bob Lane. What I learned over time was not just that Omega was a sweet, good, very kind, very loving lady and a good Christian lady, but I learned that she was married to a crusty old character by the name of Bob. But Bob dropped her off for Bible classes and worship every Sunday, brought her in, and then as soon as it was over, he was there. Often even before the service was over, he would be out in his car waiting for it to be over for her to be there. Didn't come inside the door, never came into the Bible classes, never came to worship that I remember, never attended one of our dinners or anything like that. But he would always bring her. He would always drop her off. There was one other thing that he did besides that, is that we took up collections of canned goods and things to help some of the needy and the poor along the way. And every time we would put a note in our church bulletin about it, he would read it there. Yes, he read the church bulletin. Just think about that. Anyway, as he would read that we were doing that, he would go by and he would buy a whole load of canned goods and so forth, and he would bring them down. And then he would come in and he would sit and talk with me. We'd sit in the little foyer downstairs from the auditorium and talk for quite a while. The years went by and Bob and I were friendly with one another, enjoyed one another. Omega's health began to decline. And there were times he would have to call in the night, and I would go and help him maybe get her up and into bed or something like that. And we became even better friends. And then ultimately she got down, and then when she finally died, I I was the one who conducted her funeral. But before she had died, Bob called me one day and he said, Russ, I don't know why I've waited so long, but I need to be baptized. Nothing thrilled her more than that. And I asked him one day, I said, Bob, what was it that made you change your mind? Was it that made you do this? He said, I looked at my wife and I thought, how could I have gone all these years with such a good woman and not have gotten myself in the shape I need to be? For the latter years of Bob's life, he was a Christian. He attended with us there and then later came down here and was a member here in this congregation. And when Bob died, he wanted to make sure that a bunch of his estate, the majority of his estate, it wasn't large, but the majority of his estate went to this congregation. I said, Bob, are you sure? You really haven't been here very long. He says, no, I want it here. I'm happy here. You're here. And he gave his estate, including his house and some money and so forth, to this congregation. But my point is not so much how benevolent and good he was, but what a good woman he had married. How fortunate he was, and his life was changed because of it. Who could find a virtuous wife? Aren't we blessed when we find such in our lives? So today, as a reminder, a little bit late for Valentine's Day, but as a reminder, let's remind ourselves how blessed we are. People like me, how blessed we are. The ladies who enter our lives, for the wives that we find, who are more precious than precious jewels. Thank you for sharing with me today. We'll have some more to say down the road, but I just had that on my mind today, and how blessed and fortunate so many of us are. Glad you're with me. Hope you have a great day. I'll try to remember the other camera tomorrow, and we'll make sure maybe the lighting's a little better. I'll put on my makeup too, just in case. Hey, thanks for being with me. We'll share more down the road.